All right, all you snowboarders of the internet, we're here, we're live, we're taking your snowboard questions. So get them in the chat box wherever they appear on your device, and we will go from there. So we'll hopefully be able to answer everyone's questions today. Super chats, get a spin of the wheel. No special prizes on the wheel today, but in the future, who knows? So all right, we got Brandon asking, I saw snow in Colorado. Can you confirm angry? I'm assuming up high, it definitely did snow. There's nothing in Summit that I've seen. So it was raining heavily the other day, and the mountain was socked in with clouds. When they finally lifted, I did not see any fresh snow at the top of the mountain. So there was that. All right. Anyways, so we're just getting this thing kicked off. Big news, I finally finished up the pant video by cutting the pants to pieces. So, you know, this is what's left of the dope pants. But don't worry, they're partially plant-based fiber. Partially. Probably use elk semen to seal their seams too. Speaking of dope, the funniest thing in the world. So I've been shitting on them on Instagram, and they actually reached out to me because I basically I had posted that snowboarders don't let people that snowboard ride dope snow. And they're like, sorry, what do you mean by this? We are always open for feedback. And I was like, I don't give free consultations unless you're willing to pay for my time. There's nothing more to talk about here. Fuck that brand. So yeah, I finished up that video. It's something like 130 gigabytes of footage start to finish, which is about what the goggle video was when I tore the goggles apart. So I got to sit down and start going through that this weekend, cataloging it, getting it organized, timeline a few things. And I was hoping to have it done this weekend. Originally, that was the original goal, was to have that done for this month, but I think that's going to be a next month project anyways. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. All right, we got Worley asking, can you confirm it will snow this season? It might not snow like organic snow, but I'm sure you could find some cocaine and throw it in your face and get that kind of white powder. All right, MJV14, better Quiver of one, Goliath Plus or Standard on ink, strong Pacific Northwest, Washington Rad Dad Rider, 215 pounds, mostly at Steven's ass, and riding switch a priority, leaning towards trying something new, so I don't mind the 3BT. You're going to want that Standard on ink because on those icy days, you're not going to get that edge bite from that Goliath Plus. On top of the fact, I rode the Goliath Plus and it wasn't anything fucking mind-blowing. The Standard on ink will grip better. It's full camber. That is a very, very solid board for riding up at Stevens. Okay. Taco John's, Florida-based border, 20 to 30 days a year. Flight prices are brutal this year. Should I drive all the way there? It's not the flight prices I would worry about. It's the cancellations that are happening over and over again. I have a friend that's stranded 4 hours from his house. Like, he could literally drive it. He's been bumped like 4 times. Just been hearing horror stories. The good thing is gas prices are starting to go down, and I think they will continue to go down. I'm not too worried about it. The drive from Florida is 25 hours, depending where you're trying to go. If you're trying to go to Colorado, it's 25 hours. You could break that up into 2 days, or you could just fucking yeehaw it, snort some fine Bolivian marching powder, and just shoot your ass right over. It really depends. But the big thing is, if you're driving and you're coming from Florida, you don't have a vehicle that's designed for snow driving. You don't have snow tires. I don't care what you say. Your all seasons are going to suck in the snow. You probably have not driven in snow, so you might die, and I-70 will kill you. All right. All right, let's see what else we got here. No, I'm not going to tell you the veil banning story because I fucking tell it like every 3 months. You want it? Go back and watch one of the old videos with it. I don't give a fuck. Okay, DJ Happy Bird 13. Which is better, the new Mind Expander or last year's model? I have a chance to get last year's on sale. Which would you recommend? Tree riding bolts and finding powder anywhere is my thing. Last year's is going to be more surfy with that camber profile. It's better in tight trees because it's more slashy. You can just really wing it around. The new Mind Expander overall is more powerful of a ride because it's got camber in it. So you get more drive and power out of it. It still floats exceptionally well. You're just going to spend a little more time in the back seat on it. It really comes down to if you're like loose and surfy style, really slashing, smash and pow. Last year's, if you need a little bit more precision, then you want to go with the new 2023 one, which I should schedule that review. My guess would be October. So, yeah. Okay. T Jones, what's the best GoPro to buy? Hero or Insta360 RS1? Depends what you're filming and how you want to film. I mean, if you're trying to like film yourself with your little Go pole at all times, the 360 is going to be the better one because it pops it out, but it does, you got to kind of change the distortion or whatever, the field of view on it. But if you're filming other people, then the regular GoPro the Hero would be better for that. So you kind of got your options either way there. But I mean, I don't know about you, but the only people that ride with poles or that should ride with poles are skiers, and they suck. So, anyways, you did give me a super sticker, so ooh, spin again. Really? Oh, there we go. Welcome back, L Stacker. You've been unbanned. Let's see. We got Steve K. I've been riding the Junt's flagship 2020 model for 2 years. I just picked up a Yes Typo. I ride East Coast mostly. What will be the most immediately noticeable difference? The flex. You're going to have more flex in the Typo. You're going to notice that right away. It's also not as damp of a ride, so you're going to feel a little more vibration right underfoot. Those are the two biggest differences. Gene Graves looking for a binding recommendation for the new Ride Shadow Band we got sitting right there. Go with the C8s on that from Ride. Otherwise, if you're not a Ride guy, I would check out like the bent metal transfers, maybe the Union Strata or Ultra if that's your cup of tea. And for good old standby, we'll throw the Burton Cartel at you too. All right. Let's see. We got Ted G with the super chat. Jones Mountain Twin or Yes Standard East Coast, mostly New Jersey, all mountain board with good performance in trees and park jumps. Size 10 boot, 107 pounds. Go with the Mountain Twin. It's going to be more suited for riding at Mountain Creek or if you go to the Snow Dome. It's just going to be better. Plus, you're going to get that serrated edge tech. They don't call it magna traction anymore, but that's what it is. It's going to grip better. Plus, you still got the camber profile, or you still got camber through the middle with rocker in the tip of the tail. So you're going to get that load and pop of camber there, but you're going to have that play of rocker in the tip of the tail. So that's what I would go with for you, Ted. Ooh. Pick a random question and give them a spin. All right. We got Channing 19. Any difference from the 22 to 23 K2 instrument? I see the core has a new name. Wondering if it's actually different or just a naming update. Thanks for the content, Avran. There might be a small tweak to the core just because they're like changing a few things, but by and large, it's not supposed to be different. According to what the rep told me, he was like, it wasn't worth me grabbing one to ride. So, I mean, if you're just trying to save money, grab the last year's. You're going to get at least 20% off, if not more. And you did get a spin of the wheel, sir. Ooh, hey, somebody just won themselves a jumbo sticker pack. Look at you, buddy. All you got to do is email me info@angrysnowboarder.com and I will get that in the mail for you. And we will go from there. Oh, wow, that nut is loose. Damn. Okay, let's see. Malin Roberts, you tried the new Union Pro bindings? No, I haven't. Union just didn't have samples when I hit them up. We tried to work something out. I'm hopefully going to be able to get on something maybe November-ish, so it's going to be a late review for those. Jay Nylock, favorite goggle lens for bad weather. If clear lens is absolutely amazing on a storm day. If the visibility shit and it's low light, like completely low light, but if it's high light, like even though it's low, it's overcast, that can fry your eyes. Otherwise, I'm a big fan of pink lenses, like Pink Iridium from Oakley, or I've got a pink lens as well. I can't remember what the hell they call it from Dragon, but that's what I use for myself. All right. We got Fruit Poop Loops, who just wants to lose a turn. Ouch. Let's see. James Gross, why does Sugar Bowl charge premium prices for being a small resort? Ridiculous. Because they can. It's supply and demand. They have a supply. There is demand. People will pay it. There you go. All right. Elvar Carmona, good night from Europe, Avran. The price of polymers and wood has doubled, but the prices of board have not. Is the industry absorbing the extra cost? Will it affect the industry in the long run? So everyone kind of braced for prices to go up. And so there's actually been a 10% increase in stuff. But what they did is they loaded up on stuff when it was on sale so that it wouldn't be a direct hit to people necessarily. Price jumps are coming. I'm going to bet you're already seeing it in some stuff, but the 2024 stuff, you'll see it. And a lot of companies are absorbing some kind of cost here or there, just trying to make sure that people are aware or happier, so that way they don't just be like, fuck all of this and just fuck everyone. So I think we're going to see another price jump, but for 20 something years, prices really didn't jump. So we're kind of overdue for that. So it's good and bad in some senses. So yeah. Ouch, lose a turn. Okay, DJ Happy Bird 13. Which snowboard would you recommend for plowing over Kevin from Snowboard Pro Camp and Good Ride James Bestiality? The Ride Commissioner, the Aluminum Monster. Full speed ahead, baby. That thing is heavy, damp ride. You're going to just be able to cut their heads right off when you hit them and keep on going. All right. All right. We got Kevin with the super chat. Hope your summer's treating you well. It's going. It's actually cold today. It's raining or getting ready to rain right now, but it felt like a fall day this morning. It was brutal. Another lose a turn. Lightnar, how many boards do you keep in your rotational quiver? I don't keep any rotational bindings in my quiver. No, for boards that I actually have that I would say that I ride regularly, it's pretty much 3. There's my Rome Party mod for preseason park, all that fun shit. I've got a Marhar Lumberjack. Actually, it's sitting right there. And then I've got an Endeavor Archetype. So pretty much by like January 12th, 15th, right around there, I start riding the next year's stuff. And so I've got October, part of October, all of November, all of December to ride my own stuff, and that's about it. Okay. Jeremy WM, do you know if the Rosnell sashimi has been updated for 2023 other than the graphics? I have the 2022 model, which I like for up here in Alaska. It hasn't changed. It's graphics. You're good. Save the cash. Spend that money on chuts and, I don't know, riding moose and whatever people do in Alaska. So there you go. Okay, Matthew Everly, where is a gravity board shop in Copper? Looking at picking up an indoor survival. They are in Center Village. So if you go and park at the Beeler lot right now, and you get out, you walk across the road, and you go under the overhang there for the hotel or the condos, and you go across the footbridge. And when you get across the footbridge, it's the building directly on the right. So if you see the giant looking orb of fire and it won't be lit, you've probably gone too far. You want that in front of you. So yeah. Let's see. Brandon, would the nerd superposition overlap my Burton fish or be a add to the core? There's going to be definite overlap. It will have a different ride with the side cut on them. The superposition will carve better than your fish for sure, hands down. It'll have just a completely different ride on there, but you're going to end up with some overlap there. All right. Jones Altitude, how do you live without an Orca? Simple, man. This is an octopi house. You guys don't have an octopi snowboard, you're fucking blowing it. Tentacles everywhere. Shit's wild. It's from Japan. Might be in some porn. Not sure. Okay. Kevin with the super chat again. Bring my own boards versus renting for Europe trips. That's kind of up to you. If you're trying to try out some stuff, then yeah, definitely rent. Do that. Figure out what's good for you. Plus, if the cost for baggage is high, then yeah, it makes sense to go and rent. You got to kind of ask yourself, is the cost of renting negating the cost of baggage, or is it good? Really depends. Like maybe you just want that familiarity of riding your own stuff. It's kind of a mixed bag on that question. Yeah. Damn, that thing is just landing on lose a turn. I don't know if I like that. All right, Christopher Kelly. Hey, Avran, thanks for all the videos and recs. Any binding recommendations for the new black snowboard of death? Yeah, so you want to go with the Union Atlas or Atlas Pro. Probably the Pro would actually be a little bit better. I would look at the Rome Cleaver, the Bent Metal Core Pro, or even the Solution, Burton Cartel X, the Ride. If you're really aggressive, you can go with the A10, but the A9 would fit you just perfectly fine in there. So that gives you a handful of recommendations. Lexi Vision, what board would be a good upgrade for my Solomon Villain? I'm assuming if you're on a Villain, you're riding the park. So if you're sticking with Solomon and you want to go to the next upgrade from it, you'd be looking at the Huck Knife from them. And if you want a little more all-mountain versatility, then you go to like the Assassin. Probably don't need to go to the Pro version of either of those. Otherwise, I would check out the Ride Bench Warmer. Zero to an extent, but that might be more of a lateral slide for the Villain. I think the Bench Warmer would be a little bit better. The Rome Mod Stollet, or you could even do a national Jones Mountain Twin, tweakers, like whatever. If you're looking at Battalion, you probably want to go with the Evil Twin. The Evil Twin Plus isn't really worth that much. And Signal, you'd be looking at the Signal Park Pro. So there's a bunch of options. Fruit Poop Loops, any tools you bring with you to the resort? The back of my car has a number 3 screwdriver, a socket set, a bag of extra screws for all my bindings, whether that's just insert screws or if I blow apart screw. I've got that stuff in there. Plus I keep an extra set of the 5M or whatever, 3M, 5M, or whatever the hell it is for any Burton channel board with the inserts in there. And I think I got a shovel in there with a hatchet because you never know. And that's kind of what I keep in there. But I park, the 2 main resorts I ride, A-Basin and Copper, I pretty much park right next to the chairlift. So when I need to swap a board or do anything, I can just roll up right to the back of my car and do what I need to do. All right. We got Waco asking, are there any good twinish, volume shifted boards? Goal is railing turns, side heads, powder, if we can find some. Coke Fluff, but grip for bad days. Holiday Warrior Red Dad, 10 to 12 hours drive to the Alps. Oh, that's brutal. So you would probably, so Marhard Lumberjack or Lumberjack X, the big difference is going to be the camber profile. Regular Lumberjack is flat to rocker. Lumberjack X is like camber with a micro rocker right before the tip kick. That one, K2 Party Platter, Battalion Party Wave Twin, Spring Break Powder Twin. Let's see. What else? I'm trying to think. I'm like brain farting, but I know there's another one out there. Oh, Golden Orca from LibTech. So that's like 5 options right there for you. So that should give you more than a few choices to make. But all of those will fit exactly what you're looking for. We got Peter Dabrowski. Any companies known for narrow boots other than Solomon? Nitro. Nitro has a tighter last as well. Certain ride and K2 boots, but it's only certain models. So you got to kind of try and figure it out. Most of their stuff is medium width, but then there's like 1 or 2 models that are a little tighter in the heel and the forefoot as well. All right. Luke Dudgeon, is there any tech you would like to see implemented on all snowboards? Yeah, I'd like to get rid of a gallon of epoxy in all these American-made boards. I'd like to see them use pre-preg fiberglass and reduce the amount of epoxy that they're putting in. Yeah, it makes for a damper ride, but when they break down faster and they don't have the same snap in it. I also think like urethane sidewalls have come such a long way in the last 3 years for more companies using them, that the dampening properties, because they're actually easier to fix. Like, so talking about Nerd Snowboards, my friend Jordan that owns it, his personal superposition, he actually hammered a rock and it bent the board, like the sidewall was bent. So he took it to Montserrat, and Dylan and Ryan looked at it and was like, I'll see what I can do. No guarantee it's going to go back to its shape. And because I had a urethane sidewall on it, he showed me the repair job. And other than you could see like the impact in the base and the edge where he hit the rock, the sidewall was right back to normal. I was like, does it ride normal? And he's like, yeah, I haven't experienced any issues of it feeling like it's decompressing or it has anything like that. So urethane sidewalls make sense. I really do like that anti-phase technology that Amplid's using, as well as Nitro. That's really cool. It's good to see some of that stuff out there. But by and large, I think the big thing is pre-preg fiberglass and less epoxy. Just makes for a better ride. So, okay. Let's see. We got Luc Desaunier. Angry. How do you test a board's torsional flex specifically? Is it mostly while just standing on it trying to twist the board, or are you noticing more when you're riding? So, okay, I'll tell you exactly how you test the torsional flex. You get that thing up to speed and you go right on your heel edge and you twist the back foot more up while pushing the toe down a little bit. Now, most people would hook up and die. What you're going to do is you're doing that, then you rotate it back, then you turn it. And when you're steering, you disengage the idea of driving it out towards the contact points at the tip and the tail, or where the cam rocker or whatever profile you're on. And what you do is you try to steer it while you get on your heel edge while you're going down the hill. And then you just do ankle movements to see what's going to happen. And that's going to tell you how much torsional flex that it actually has. And then you try to do like one-footed turns where you don't engage with the front foot, but you kick your knee in and you really push the toe down to see how it's going to root on the toe side carve. And then you repeat that onto the heel side carve as well. It's a whole thing. Like most people they think I'm just riding, and it's like there's a reason I'm doing certain kinds of turns, because I want to see what it can actually do. We got Cameron Wilhelm. Any board similar to the Solomon Super 8. Been riding it for the past 3 years and looking to switch it up. So Nerd Superposition, Karua Transition Finder, to an extent the K2 Passport. And if you don't like the Passport, you could do the Antidote, K2 Passport or Antidote. The signal tail gunner, but set your stance a little more forward. Don't follow the natural setback of it. You want to put your stance a little more forward on that board. The Rosinal Sashimi kind of fits in there, kind of loosely. But yeah, those are multiple options right there for you. All right. Steve K, you have $300 to spend on a boot and you're looking for a middle of the road stiffness. What's the boot you're going to buy? The one that fits my foot and fits my needs. $300 goes a lot further than people think when you really start looking at it. And pretty much any name brand boot company at $300, you're going to get a middle of the road boot that doesn't suck. It's going to probably be about $289. So after tax, if you live in the US and you're not in Europe where the tax is included in the price, then you might go a little bit over that. But yeah, the best boot's the one that fits your foot and fits your needs. Okay. From Flesh to Steel, just bought a Ride Berserker. Just wanted something different than my Yes Optimistic and my interior plane project Odessa. Hopefully it's a good addition to the Quiver. So it's going to be closer to your Optimistic than your Odessa, but it's not volume shifted, and that camber profile is a little more aggressive. So you're going to steer it further out at the tip and the tail. It fits between your Odessa and your Optimistic, or after your Optimistic. So basically, like straight charger, free ride, like old school shape, stuff like that. That's your Berserker. Then you've got your Optimistic as your volume shifted Carvey Cruiser board, and then you got your Odessa as your twin park board. So yeah. Justin G, any changes in how the Mercury rides with the new core? I don't know. That was one I wasn't able to grab and get on. They just didn't have one available for me. So I'm hopefully going to get on one in November, maybe December, and ride that. We'll see. But yeah, that should ride different. Everyone I've talked to says it rides different. So we'll see. Okay, we got Anthony Hawking with the Super Chat. Any brands that have particularly good tech for edge hold on ice? Thinking freestyle boards for smaller mountains out east. Oh, yeah. So your Mervin boards, like your GNU Finest, the Headspace, they got magnet traction, and they've dialed that magnet traction. It works. Jones with their serrated edge tech, Rosinal as well, like the Jibsaw is amazing bang for the buck, and you get that serrated edge in there, and it's a mellow magnet traction, basically. It grips. Niche has contact bumps, arbors, stuff. You want the camber profile, the camber, not the rocker version of like the Westmark, but you're going to get added contact points right underfoot. That's going to grip as well. All of that stuff works. It works exceptionally well, and it's going to grip exceptionally well on that East Coast ice. Jesus. I think this really wants to bounce back to lose your turn. All right, next question from Dan Rao. With all the rain in Colorado, are we looking at a good winter? It's not necessarily that we're getting rain. We still have to worry about if we go into Indian summer in the fall. If we do, we're screwed. But if you look at Australia, New Zealand, and how they started off and they've been getting storms, if they have a good season, we have an exceptional season. That's just how it always seems to work out with it. The other nice thing is the high alpine, it doesn't have a lot of dead scrub brush up there. It's a lot of green vegetation. Snow will stick to that better in the long run. So I'm optimistic that we're going to have a good season, but realist in me says we'll probably have an average season with some really good days. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So I see we got 101 people in here. We're growing. We got more people in here. If you're just getting in here, you got questions, put them in the chat box wherever it appears on your device. Maybe it's on the right, the bottom, the top. I don't know what you're doing. Maybe it's on your Google glasses. Anyways, get your questions in here. I'm going to try to answer them. Super chats do get a spin of the wheel. And I'm going to give a spin to Fruit Poop Loops because he's like Slim for the wins. Our Lord and Savior, Slimothy Whitman, has not shown up in a couple months. So, and remember to smash the like button, people. Okay. OBSF, hey, Avran. Hope you're doing well. I have an Orca, Super Pig, Twin Pig, and Arbor Cask. What am I missing? Or am I just being a board addict? You're a volume shift addict. It's time to go buy a regular length board, dude. You need to get out of riding all volume shift. You need to go old school. Old school. I'm talking like a long all mountain free ride board. You know, your Mercury, your Mega Mercury, something like that. Maybe a Battalion Fun Kink, a Public Dispute. Let's see, an Arbor Coda, something like that. You need something that's just like normal length, not this volume shift. You just to help you out there. All right, we got Jammin' Fresh, Gremlin or Golden Orca. Looking for a volume shifted board for my Quiver. The Golden Orca is more versatile than the Gremlin. It's got more tail on it. It's more all mountain freestyle. It's for everyone that bought a regular Orca and is like, I can do everything with it. The Golden Orca is really what they probably should have got just due to the tail shaping on it. The Gremlin is more like your trench digging, decent in pow, like hauling ass, a little bit more damp than the Golden Orca, but not as versatile. Like the switch riding isn't going to be as good as it would be on the Golden Orca. And that's really the big difference between the two of them. And so you got to kind of ask yourself what you're looking for. Both have their place, but you look at your other boards and go, which one fits with what I have and how is that going to work with it? All right. Okay, DJ Happy Bird 13. Thoughts on the curated pro rider reviews? Are they really pros? Should I take the reviews seriously? They definitely try a lot of boards. Well, there's Mike, who I know, and he definitely rides, but I can't remember the one fucking kid's name that lives over the pass. He reached out to me and basically told me he did all the hiring for curated and that he makes his guys watch my videos. And I was like, cool, you're getting paid to train them with my knowledge. By and large, I find their stuff fucking boring as fuck. There's like a few oddballs that know what they're doing, but some of those guys, it's like watching monkeys fuck a football. It's like watching the good ride. It's just not there. I mean, your call. If you feel that you can trust them, trust them. It's like with any review. The people that trust me, cool. I guess I earned your respect and you value my knowledge base and what I'm doing. But for the people that don't like me, fuck you. I don't care. Why do you watch it? You're not forced to, which this is actually a really good segue into parasocial relationships because I have I've been just dealing with people lately that are it's just they take like a possessive ownership of Angry and myself and feel I owe them. Like, so last live stream, this guy named Barry P, he left comments on the live stream from it. He said something I didn't agree with, and I was like, I don't need that negativity, and I put him in a 2-minute timeout. Whoop-de fucking do. He lost his fucking shit on me. Just lost it. And so it started with, this is the first comment he left, is that you have no comments. Like, is that even coherent English? Or are you just too soft to take criticism and end up deleting all your engagement? You don't have the temperament for this. Go ahead and delete my comment again. I never deleted his comment. I put him in timeout, which retracts the message in the live stream. Completely different thing. And I was just like, what the fuck are you talking about, you dipshit? And he's like, I have the screenshots of the last, knowing you delete it, and you have the live posted where you put me in timeout after offering constructive criticism on your scheduling. One, I never asked for your opinion because I don't value it. Two, you offered it up and I didn't agree with it and was like, I don't need that negativity. And here you resort to name calling. There's gray in your beard. It's about time for you to grow up. This is the last I will speak on it, and I truly wish you the best. Nice work shedding subscribers. Oh no. I lost a subscriber. So I responded with, cool story, bro. I put you in timeout for 120 seconds. It's not the end of the world. You're the one making a bigger deal than it is. Oh no, I lost one pathetic middle-aged man baby. Whatever shall I do? Can someone help me here? I am so upset. He starts responding back because someone liked that comment. And he's like, you're liking your own comments. That's how pathetic he is. But I run into people like this all the time that just feel like they take ownership of what I'm doing. And they're like, I don't like the way you're doing this. I don't like that. No one is forcing you to be here. You voluntarily subscribed. You can voluntarily unsubscribe. I'm stoked when people support me. I'm stoked to make this content for you guys. But I don't owe people. I don't need to make every single person happy. If I make the majority of people happy with what I'm doing, that's great. But to make every single person happy, I'd develop cancer. My voice would turn high pitch. I'd gain a gut, and my name would become Jonathan Fuckhouse. And I don't need that. And so, like, this parasocial relationship thing, I've dealt with it for as long as I've had Angry, for as long as I've been on the internet with what I do, because I've done reviews for like 20 years. That's why I have the knowledge base that I do. But it's like people, just because I answer your DM or I answer your email or I answer your comment, suddenly think I'm your best fucking friend and like that they know me and there's this relationship. Like, you should see some of the more like psychotic shit that I get. Like, I had a dude talking about how he wanted to rape me and shit, and I'm just like, yeah, that's like goodbye. You know, you get into this, and it's like people they take it so personal that when I do stuff, you got to treat this like I'm your local shop guy. I might know you, I might recognize you, I might remember what boards you ride, I might remember like where you ride and stuff like that. But we're not friends, we're acquaintances. If that. More than anything, I'm an entertainer to everyone, and I don't have a problem being the entertainer. But people need to realize where this line is with things, because it's uncanny how many people think that I just owe them. Like, I'll be somewhere and people be like my favorite was 2019. I went back to New York for Christmas and my birthday, and I went snowboarding with one of the guys I grew up with. I've known him since he was 11 years old. He's just a friend of mine, great friend of mine. He's like family to me. I haven't snowboarded with him since he was 18 years old, 19, something like that. So it was 12 years. And I walked into my favorite pizza place right at the base of Holiday Valley, the Depot, and I go in and we're sitting at the bar, and, you know, I know the owners, Vicky and Moose, and we're doing everything. And this kid recognizes me, but he doesn't know my name. So he doesn't call me Avran, but he's like, he starts just shouting questions at me, and I'm like trying to eat food and talk to my friend. And finally I had to be like, look, man, it's cool that you recognize me and it's cool that you watch my content, but I am eating. Would you do this to Jim Kelly? Because we're in Buffalo Bills country, so you got to do that reference. Would you do this to Jim Kelly if he was in here with his family eating pizza? And he's like, well, no, I wouldn't. I would give him a space. I was like, same fucking concept, dude. If you got questions, you can email me. You can freaking leave a comment. You don't need to sit here and try to tell me how my videos are and what I said and butcher it and then ask me 100 fucking questions. And I was rude. And I was like, look, man, I'm trying to eat. I am with a friend. I am this. I don't owe you anything. I was like, thank you for your support, but you are crossing the fucking line. And this is like a big thing that I'm starting to realize is like, I get some of these emails from people and they'll be like, hey, bro, you know, like, could you do me this solid favor and sell these snowboards for me? Who the fuck are you? Why am I giving you my time to do this? I'm not. I'm just not. Like, it's why I stopped answering most DMs on Instagram, because I'm just like, who the fuck are you people? Like, you're just getting overly demanding and it sucks. And like I said, thank you for all the support. I love everyone that supports me. I love the guys at Angry Snowboarder VIP because they pay for us to do cool projects like tearing pants apart and shit like that. And, you know, and I like to give back as much as I can by giving you guys snowboards, jackets, whatever I can, and doing these give backs and stuff. And I'm going to do these meetup days where we can go and ride and stuff. But you've got to remember to separate the emotion, because YouTube and like influencer culture and social media and everything makes it so that you think that I'm your friend when you're not. Like, when we were trying to get to 1,000, when Kevin and I were trying to get to 1,000 subscribers on here, we did all those reviews, but we hid a picture of a snowboard so you could win a snowboard in the contest. The guy that won the snowboard, I told him when he won it, I was like, hey man, you won, you found everything in the hidden contest. Awesome. Good for you. It's going to be 4 to 6 weeks before I send it. I've just got some stuff going on in my life. You're going to get it. That dude, every day from a week after that, was fucking emailing me, DMing me on Facebook, on Instagram. He found my personal profile on Facebook. He was sending me all this shit. I had to drop everything I was doing that was taking way more precedence just to make him fucking happy. But he was trying to talk to me, and he's like, one of the things he said, he's like, I know, like, we're very similar, and I see this, and you need to. He started talking like he knew me, and I was like, yo, dude, you don't fucking know me. Don't act like you know me. Don't act like you know my family. You live in the middle of bumfuck Iowa, dude. I'm sending a free ride board in the middle of summer to you, so you'll shut the fuck up. We don't know each other. So I find it funny when I keep getting these messages from people like, you need to quit because you put me in timeout, or you told me I was stupid because I do stupid things. Well, if you do stupid things, I'm going to tell you do stupid things. Like, I don't know what happened, and there's this weird generational disconnect or what. But when I was a kid, the older generation that took me in and taught me all about skateboarding and snowboarding culture and everything, when I did stupid shit, would call me out. I do the same thing. I had to babysit my 2.5-year-old nephew this week. He did some stupid shit. I was like, that's kind of stupid. And I pointed out, I put the kid gloves on for him, obviously, but I have to explain to him, I was like, why we don't do certain things. And you can just see him and he'll be like, oh, okay. And then he'll go and do it again, and you got to kind of repeat him. High point, though, with my little nephew, taught him to go like this and say, Wu-Tang is for the children to adults. Absolutely amazing. He'll just run up to an adult and be like, Wu-Tang is for the children. Except he kind of misses his thumb, so he just does this. But still, absolutely hilarious. But yeah, just if you get so possessive of someone making content, like, it becomes toxic. And I've seen these toxic fan bases to people where it's like they just demand stuff. I will curb that every chance I can get before it hits that level, because for every one guy like Barry P, there are 20 of you people in here that are absolutely amazing and understand it. Like, I've run into some of you guys on the chairlifts. I know that. And some of you don't recognize me and some of you do. Like, I was riding Copper the one day and I saw the guy had an angry sticker. So I get on with him. And I was like, nice angry sticker. And he's like, oh yeah, yeah. I was like, that's really cool. I'm glad I could make that for you. And he's like, oh, what? Next thing I know, we spent the whole lift ride talking about the Nidecker Supermatics. So he was really stoked about that. But yeah, there's this like disconnect. So if you ever feel like you're possessive of the content I make or that I owe you something, step back and remind yourself, you don't even know my middle name. And you definitely don't know my mom and dad. And I've probably never snowboarded with you. I don't owe you anything. Let's do that. Now, I know that's a bit of a rant and it's a little weird, but that's what this live stream is about, because I've just started noticing as the season gets here, the crazies start to come out of the woodwork. We need to curb them. I want to have a great season. I want all you guys to have a great season. I want to answer all your questions. But I never want to feel like you guys think you own me. Which, going into that whole owning thing, it always reminds me of this kid. I can't remember his fucking name because I banned him so long ago. But before I was doing YouTube, he used to leave just like walls of text comments. He was from Los Angeles. He was fucking weird. And I'd answer his questions, and it finally got to the point where I would just like leave 3-word answers and stuff. So when I launched the Patreon, the Angry Snowboarder VIP thing, the YouTube thing, right before that, he basically said that he ordered something from Evo and he wanted me to get the commission. So he called them and told them that I had to get the commission. And I don't know, he fucking did some crazy shit. But then I had a death in my family. And so I didn't answer his email. He sent me an email. I didn't answer it for like 5-6 days because my grandmother had died. And that woman raised me. She legitimately said before she died, I was her favorite grandkid out of 23 grandkids. She told all the rest of them I was her favorite. So took that death kind of harsh. Because I'd said, I was like, hey, death in the family, I'm gone. I'm not answering anything. He's like, I know you're online. I know you're this. You need to do this. You need to do this. And finally he was like, look, man, the way I look at it is I click the affiliate links. So you work for me and I own you. And I was like, oh, do you? I was like, get fucked. Fuck you. Fuck this. Fuck everything. So he made another account claiming to be his sister to try to apologize to me. And then when we launched Angry Snowboarder VIP, he joined and I recognized the email. So I was like, man, that looks familiar. So I searched it in my email and I was like, oh, it's this guy. Because it had been about a year or two. Fucking blocked his ass. His mom, yeah, used his mom's email, decided to fucking hit up and be like, my son loves you, blah. And my response was, I fucking hate him. I fucking hate you. I fucking hate your daughter. I hope you all get cancer and die. Go play in the fucking traffic on the 405. I don't give a fuck about you. Suck my farts out of my ass, because I will never be that guy. I will give you what I can where I can, but there is definitely a fine line. I like my personal space. I like to be left alone. And that I wish people would respect that. I'm giving what I can where I can, but there's a line. And it's funny because I have so many friends that are pro and semi-pro snowboarders and stuff like that, and so many people that I work with that I know. And it's funny when someone that kind of knows me is talking to me, and then suddenly I'll be talking to a pro and they're like, oh, wow, you like know them. And I'm like, yeah, I've hung out at their house. Like, I do this. But they're like, you didn't fan out. And I was like, no, they put their snow pants on one leg at a time too, just like you and me. We're all normal people. It's like, just give people the respect that they deserve. Like, you slide into my DMs. Like, I mean, I had a guy seriously send me, it must have been a 10,000 word DM just asking advice. And I looked at it and I was just like, delete. Next day, why aren't you answering me? Delete. Next day, block. You know? New account the day after that. Like, for the love of God, people, just please respect people's space and stuff. It's like the guy I was screwing with at the grocery store a couple weeks ago. He's like kept walking around and he kept doing laps to look at me and look at me and look at me. And finally comes up and he's like, that guy that does snowboard reviews. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, snowboard reviews. You do snowboard reviews on YouTube. And I was like, no, I don't. I ski. He's like, what? And I was like, yeah, I'm a skier, man. I work at Christie Sports. I do boot fitting. He's like, so you don't? I was like, no, man, I don't have any social media. I don't even really use the internet. I was like, my name's Steve. Fucking blew his mind. But, you know, I'm grocery shopping, dude. Like, I really want to talk to you while I'm pulling a fucking fat stack of shit tickets off the wall. Like, yeah, dude, I poop too. It's cool. So, all right. Anyways, let's backtrack. And just answer some more questions. Sorry, that was a long tangent there. We got Garth Pierce. What are your thoughts on the Nidecker Supermatic bindings? Cheers from the UK. The full review will be dropping September 1st. It's the first review of the daily reviews. I've written them in multiple conditions. I broke a set of sample pairs. They sent me another pair. They rectified everything that I broke. But like out of everyone that got sample pairs, evidently it was like me and one other person broke some stuff. They work. There are some stuff and things in them that I don't like. But what I do like is you're not limited to specific boots. You can put any boot in there. The adjustments could change a little bit. It's a little counterintuitive on how you bend down and hit the tab to release. Were they a bad binding? No. Were they a great binding? Not for me. But I think if you're one of those people that's trying to save time from bending over, you got a disability, you're older, maybe you're just fat, I don't know. It works. You know, it's better than a Flow. It's better than a Clue. It's better than Burton Step-On. It's better than Clicker. It's a step in the right direction. And I know how much time and effort they put into the R&D on this. So I think when we get to Generation 3, because this is what we're going to call Generation 1 for the public, Generation 3 will be the time when I'm like, that's actually fucking legit. Like, I think it's a game changer, and I think it really has its place in the market. Is it going to be for everyone? No. But it will work for a lot of people. All right. Let's see. Stuff I find interesting with the super chat. I have a board I don't ride and in good shape, a couple years old. Would I be able to donate that to the Shred Foundation? Yes, you should be able to donate that. So I think it's info@shredfoundation.com is the email for them. I think that's the generic catch-all. Shoot them an email and see if they can get you, because they just moved offices. They'll get you the address and you can ship that to them. But I got to talk with Danny some more, just so everyone knows. The 4th annual Black Friday live stream-a-thon is coming. That's an all-day thing. We're going to do the second annual Shred Foundation fundraiser. We raised $7,000 last year. I'd like to raise $10,000 this year. I've got a bunch of great prizes, stuff from Signal, stuff from Yes. I got some Snowboards, some Ride Snowboards. I got bindings. I got a bunch of other stuff. I think we're going to have some goggles, maybe. We're still dialing in all of our prizes, like our big prizes and stuff, but we're going to shoot for the moon on this fundraiser this year. And then the live streamathon, I'm going to be giving away a ton of boards. I got to see how many boards I'm going to have to give away, but I'd like to, for every board that I put into the raffle prize drawing for Shred Foundation, I'd like to have one for the live stream as well. So hopefully we could have somewhere between 10 and 20 snowboards to give away, which absolutely huge. So yeah, I'd like to do all that for you guys. It's my way of giving back to snowboarding, get everyone dialed in, you know. So we're going to go with that. And you get a spin of the wheel, sir. And remember, fire cures all. Fire cures all. All right, we got Mr. Force 10. Greetings from the Mountain Hood, 1,000 degrees Celsius. Binding recommendations for the Jones Stratus, 161 wide. Thanks, you're the man. So if you're looking at Jones bindings for the Stratus, I would probably put the Mercury on there. The Now Select Pro is another one. So there's your Skate Tech bindings. Otherwise, the Union Strata, the K2 Lean AT, the Ride C8. If you want something a little softer, more playful, you could bump down to the C6 on that. And also the Bent Metal Transfer would be another good option. So there's multiple options for you. Okay. Carlos Enriquez, our moderator down in Aspen. Cheers, fam. I hope everyone is having a good summer. Let's hope Slim is okay, and we'll hear back from him soon. F the Kooks, and let's bring the winter already. Yeah, I'm there. My Achilles tendon is not ready, but I'm there. Tendonitis is a bitch. The older you get, the more you get of it. Yeah, so. And remember, beware of frostbite. Tippy TT, what happened to Yagoons? Are they still a crew? They haven't put out any content for ages. Dr. Brendan's pulling teeth. Marcus and Mary Rand moved to Oregon. Dylan Gamache is still in Rhode Island. I wouldn't consider them broken up. I just say that they've hit a point in their life where they're all working at different things, but you never know what can come out of that. So let's see. Leo last name. Can't talk homie out of buying dope snow gear next season. What are legit arguments that might work? Oh, we got one of those motherfuckers. Let's see. Where is it? I know there's. Got to grab visual aids. All right. So first off, let's fuck it. We'll just cut some more here because why not? So I've got the full video of the pant deconstruction coming out, which the only reason I did it was for dope snow. But the big one that I want to talk about is their waterproofing. Do you see how shiny that is? So this is actually like a heat transferred membrane onto the pant material. So it's like they heat pressed it in. It's like a 3M sticker. So when I was doing the water test, it pooled up and seeped into the outer layer, but that inner layer was unpenetrable. What that's going to do is cause that adhesive to eventually eat itself away. Now, it might be 30 days, it might be 100 days. But what that's going to do is that's going to cause areas where it pools up in there. The seam quality on this stuff was rather cheap as well. Like, I was not overly impressed. Like, when I started doing pull tests on certain tabs, like this tab right here is actually a reinforced tab. One of the other ones, I grabbed it and it just ripped. And I was like, what the hell? So it's like single stitch stuff. It's middle of the road at best, but they're charging about $80 more than what the base stuff is from like 686 DC, which is better, hands down, in the long run. So what he's paying for is their bullshit marketing. But, standard polyfill. The cool thing is they did actually sew seams in there so it doesn't bulk up and whatnot. But overall, so I think the deal was with the video, I couldn't pay more than $189 for a pair of pants. These were the most expensive one at $169 is what I paid. So those were $169. And where are they? No, that's not it. Yeah, here they are. These are the 686 standard pant. $99 standard pant. Just as good, if not better. Actually, I'd say they were better. The seam quality was better in there and everything. The material was just better material. Like I couldn't, this is actually a DWR coated impregnated material, which means that the waterproofing is put into the outer material. So water would just beat up and ride right off of it. You'll see that in the video because I did a 20-minute time lapse on all 10 pairs of the pants. Just basically cut a section of fabric, put it over a pint glass with a rubber band, poured water on top with a little, so it would pool, and just let the camera go for 20 minutes. And so that's, yeah. So it's whatever. That dope snow shit, they don't support snowboarding. It's cheap shit. Like the funny thing is, one of you guys that's a fan works in their quality customer service thing. And he was straight up telling me, he's like, people will be like, this failed me. And he's like, we were told just send them a new thing because we make it for so cheap. Like their cost per unit is probably less than $20 and they're selling them for like $189. They can just eat that cost because they're not selling to stores. They're not doing anything. They don't support snowboarding. They don't have a pro team. They don't do anything. Basically, anyone that wears dope in Montec, I put them in the same level as people that wear Vertica. And I'm like, wow, they're fucking kooks. They're just kooks. They don't know better. They're stupid and they'll argue with me. And I'm like, don't argue with me. I know more than you. So, all right. All right. McCord Butler, best all mountain women's board. All mountain freeride or all mountain freestyle? Because you got two categories there. I'm actually working on those top 5 lists for the ladies. So hopefully I will have them for next month. I've just got to sit down and finish that up. I got a little bit behind this week. It was kind of a hellacious week. Had some stuff come up. Had a 75-year-old woman decide to kick my dog because her dog tried to hump her while she was laying down and she bit her dog to get it off of her. So the woman kicked her. So I ended up almost beating up some octogenarians at the dog park. I put the living fucking fear of God when I was screaming at him, and the husband said he's calling 911, and I told him it was 18 and a half minutes for them to respond and that he would talk to my friend's wife on the 911 dispatch, and I told him what officers would be dispatched. He shut the fuck right up. So anyways, but yeah, having to, because my dog got spayed 2 weeks ago, well, 3 weeks now, I just had to keep an eye on her because she kicked her right square in the stomach as hard as she could. And fucking, I had to just keep an eye on my dog and make sure she was okay. So it was fucked up. And then I had some other stuff I had to take care of. So kind of fell behind on the top 5s and getting projects done. But now that I'm done with that big project, I've got 72 more board reviews out of 136 to edit. So 72 is a really good number. I'm doing about 2 a day. Get all that shit caught up. But yeah, you'll get that. T. Jones, have you ever been sacked from a job for throwing a sick day to go snowboarding? I didn't get sacked because I went snowboarding. I literally quit a job so I could go snowboarding. They pissed me off. I walked in, told them what was up, and they were like, no, you got to do this. And I was like, fuck it, I quit, and just walked out. And they were like, you're just going to, I was like, it's a job. It's not a career. I don't give a fuck. Like, here's the big thing that I think people, they get too far in their headspace when it comes to jobs. Where they're like, I need this job because I did this, because this, and this. And it's like, unless it is an absolute career and you've got a family and big bills to do it, you can quit just about anything and find something better relatively easy, or work for yourself if you really think outside the box. Like, I have been fired hundreds of fucking times. I don't even give a fuck anymore. Well, I mean, who's going to fire me now? You guys? I work for myself. But I guess I would have to be canceled. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Like, if I want to go snowboarding, I'm going to just go snowboarding, and no one's going to stop me. And I decided 25 plus years ago that I was like, I love snowboarding. I'm going to snowboard as much as I can when I can. and no one's ever going to stop me. And I have let nothing stop me at that. I'm like, well, we need you. Nope, quit. Bye. See ya. Peace. I'm going. Oh, well, can you? No, going snowboarding. I don't care. If it's just a job and it's something you can find a better one or similar, fuck it. Live your life. We're all going to be dead someday anyways. Besides, we live on a giant rocks with a star that could explode, hurtling through space. Nothing we do fucking matters. Ooh, Brooke Poulsen. Best on the mountain snack: beef jerky, stick of butter, school paste, or Go-Gurt. Pocket bacon, people. You got to get on this level, right? So you take your bacon, you put it on your sheet, and you bake it in the oven. Bake it to the crispiness you want. I like mine a little bit chewy, not a little bit crispy. You take it out, you take the grease, you pat it, you let it cool first, then you pat it down with paper towels. You put like 5 or 6 strips of bacon in one of those little Ziploc bags, and you put it in your pocket. Pocket bacon. My friend Crowbar and I have been on this for like 10 years. Greatest fucking thing. Like, I can roll up to him because he lives in New Jersey, but he comes out here because he's the head coach for Mount Snow. So I run into him all the time. I can roll up to him at Copper and just like, he doesn't see me, and I like side slip, and I'm like, yo, you got any pocket bacon, boy? And he'll just be like, reach in his pocket and just take a strip out and be like, here you go. Creepy, but delicious. Pocket bacon. Get on it, people. All right. All right, Petch Grind. Is downsizing a board 2 sizes down too much for a park board? Ask about the Jackpot. I'm 170 pounds, looking at the 52. Would ride it exclusively in the park? No, because at 170 pounds on the 52. So you got to remember, weight ranges are kind of like roughly a suggestion. I mean, yes, you want to be in the middle of the weight range to get optimal performance from any board. But if you're looking for like to take that Jackpot and be more of a jib stick, if you're at the higher end of that weight range, it's going to flex more, especially in the tips. What's that going to do for you? Allow for a better press that isn't soggy. You get a better press, you're going to be happy. Like, I ride a 154 at 200 pounds. Now, everyone's like, you should be on a 57 or a 58 for park. And I'm like, I have literally rode a 154 for park since probably 2000, 2001. That is 20 years plus that I've done that. Not changing it. That's my size. That's my personal preference in there. Now, conversely, if you're, say, 130 pounds and you're trying to ride a 160 for park, it's going to be a hell of a lot stiffer. You got to kind of give and take in that, But the big takeaway with being over the weight range is understand more flex. You're going to decrease the amount of snap over time because you're going to be breaking that board in a little bit faster. And it may die quicker than a board like if you were on the 54 at 170 pounds. That's really the big takeaway. So, yeah. All right. All right. Warden, how does the Jones Tweaker ride versus the Jackpot? Which boards are comparable with the Jones Tweaker? I'm interested in getting one this season. So, the big thing with the Tweaker is it's got that unique flex to it that they did it. So it's stiffer at the tips, but softer between the feet. So it's got like a reverse core profiling, whereas the Jackpot is the opposite, stiffer through the middle, softer in the tips. So where they ride similar is that they're both freestyle boards. Where they differ is on edge. I think the Jackpot is a little more quick edge to edge, and it's got more power out of a carve, and it'll give you more spring off of a lip. It's a better jump board than the Tweaker, but the Tweaker will be a little bit easier to flex because you're bringing the flex point closer underfoot. So you're going to do that. Other boards that would be similar to the Tweaker, you would be looking at like the GNU Finest, the Ride Zero, the Rome Artifact. I think those are in that same realm as the Tweaker. It's Jones's first year or first time making a true twin freestyle board. And to be honest, I rode it. It's a fucking snowboard. Was it mind-blowing? No. Was the marketing mind-blowing? Clearly, because people are all about it. So, All right. Patrick Ryan with the $3 super chat. Thoughts on the Burton Malavitas? It's a freestyle binding. It's soft. The big thing is if you look at the base tray where the heel cup goes up, there's a little point to that binding. And certain boards, when you flex the binding like heel side and it's coming up from like say a hard landing, tail press, nose press, whatever, that point pushes into the top sheet, can crack the top sheet and crack the core. That is the one issue I have with the Malavita. Burton knows about it. They haven't really rectified it. They've made it little tweaks, but it's a board breaker binding. But you got to ask yourself, do you ride at a level where you think you would be breaking it? If you're not, it's solid. Ooh, pick a random question and get a spin. Okay. Let's see. I want to take a good question before I dive into those other ones. C Story 333. What would be your first snowboard related purchase be if you won $1 billion in the lotto? A 4-wheel drive Lambo, baby. I'm rolling to the mountain in fucking style. And then when people piss me off, I'm going to drive it up the goddamn slope and blow donuts with it. No, actually, in all honesty, first snowboard related purchase, I would buy a house at Powder Mountain. That would be the very first thing that I would buy. And I would buy the lifetime membership to them as well. So, yeah. And remember, summer tourists are the worst. So, okay. This is a good question from Ian. Wait, can we give you commission when buying from Evo? Being close to them, I order almost all my gear from there. So the affiliate links are in the description of all the videos. And like when you go down there and it says like written review here, and then it's like buy at Evo, the house, whatever, you click that, I get a commission. That's how it works. I don't push it super hard on you guys. It's there. It's a great bonus for me. It's a great way for me to get paid. It supplements my YouTube income, the Angry Snowboarder VIP income, the store income, and all that stuff. And so it does it. Speaking of the store, I know we got a lot of new people in here and people that don't know this. There's a link in the description, but if you go to angrysnowboarderstore.com, you need advice, stuff like that. You can hire me to be your personal gear shopper for you and kind of just, it's a one-on-one experience. I think I've only had 2 bad experiences with people in the 2 years that we've done it. But, you know, for $10, simple question, $15 more in depth, $20, I'll hold your hand or I'll give you a questionnaire, you fill it out, and then $50 is the hand holder. I will make sure that you make your purchase and you feel dialed in. But yeah, we got that going on for you guys, so don't forget about that. Tyler Kim, is the Golden Orca review on the Patreon? That review is scheduled, I think, in August. Like we're getting down to the last 30-something reviews because I've got them scheduled because they end the last day of August. Let's see. Vanessa Vargas with the super chat. For all the crap Avran has to put up with, I'm just putting out fires over here. Just putting out fires. People wonder why I go on vacation so much. They're like, you're taking 2 weeks off. I was like, fuck yeah, I got to just clear my brain. So, okay. Pick a non-super chat question. Let's see. We're going to go with Dave Jones on this one. Any binding recommendations for a 158 K2 excavator? I demoed it last year and found it perfect for surfing that Sierra cement. So if you stick with K2, you want to go with the Lean AT because it's got that power pod system. That gives you a lot of play on that binding. And so that lets you really slash that snow. Now, if you want more performance driven, then you would go to the formula from K2. Conversely, other bindings I would look at would be the Strata, the Union Ultra, those two right there. Probably a bent metal transfer, a ride. C or A8 would really match up with that. You kind of ask yourself if you want metal or plastic on there. The metal's going to be a little more rigid underfoot. And that should give you a bunch of options there, Dave. And we're going to give you a spin as well. And we're going to end that poll that we had going too. Let's see. And, just so everyone knows, 152 votes. 88% of you guys has said you want the Sunday night live stream at 9 p.m., so I will be scheduling that for you. Okay, we got Kareem 2K. How is the Nitro Team Pro compared to Union Atlas or Ride A9 regarding flex? Got the Team Pro and looking at the Atlas or A9. So, okay, so the Atlas will be so the Atlas and A9 are both going to be stiffer than the Team Pro. Laterally, you're going to notice that. The big difference is going to be the dampening. The Atlas will have the least amount of dampening out of the three, then the A9, and then the Team Pro, just because it's got that air pad system in there. That's going to be more damp in there. The straps, I feel, are better on the A9. I think they're the best, then the Atlas, then the Team Pro. For ratchets, I would say that like the Team Pro and the A9 are similar, and then the Atlas would be after that. The high backs will be the stiffest on the Atlas. Then the A9 is just a hair softer. Then the Team Pro is softer than that. So you really got to ask yourself like what you're looking for. If you really like your Team Pro and you're looking for something comparable, I'd say you probably wouldn't mind going to the Atlas, but you're going to lose the dampening. If you're looking for something more powerful, that's where you go to the A9. Oof, you lose. Ouch. Okay. Ollie Brown, when are you getting married? Your mom said no. Okay. Mass Mills, are you a fan of Lago Snowboards? I like their stuff when I wrote it. They're just hard to get stuff from, and they're kind of a disorganized company, in all honesty. The boards are made at GP87, so I know they're a solid factory. There's nothing wrong with them. Casey was supposed to get me his pro model, but he's off surfing, so I'll probably get that around Christmas to ride. All right, let's see. Jonathan Batista, Solomon Dance Hall, hype for 2023 or not? So nothing changed in it. Still a solid board. Rides great. Loved riding it. I actually just wrote it because I just wanted a board that I knew was going to be awesome to ride in that volume shift category. I really want to ride the Dance Hall Pro next if I can ever get one. But yeah, that board's super, super solid. Brandon Smith, thoughts on fixed bindings? Fixed bindings are super solid. They do have a little bit of a wider footprint compared to others, but I like what they're doing. Jason, the owner, and I have tried. He's tried to ship me stuff, but unfortunately, he shipped it the wrong way because Summit County's fucking stupid with their shipping and didn't do it. But they do make a really quality product. I really do dig their stuff. Steven777 Rebrek. Why does the hovercraft suck on ice? Because I also own a Yes Dicey and it's so much better, but it's a park board. Doesn't suck on ice. It's you because they ride completely different. They're two different things. So the Dicey has contact points right underfoot and has a completely different camber profile to it. So what's going on is you're actually steering it underfoot, whereas the hovercraft, because it's got a longer camber section and a different side cut on it, steers farther outside the foot. If you would engage the turn outside the foot by putting your hip over the nose of the board, so you actually put it out and then actually roll back onto the contour, it would steer completely different for you. But because you're riding that Dicey and you probably every time you ride the hovercraft say that it sucks and go back to your Dicey, you're not actually learning the different momentum and movements to ride that board. So you're doing more ankle steering and just steering it literally right underfoot, almost like a skateboard. That's the big difference. The hovercraft does not suck on ice. You want to ride a Jones board that sucks on ice, go ride the what is that? The super fucking wide volume shifted one that I can't think of it right. The Storm Chaser. Go ride that on a super icy day. you'll learn what a board sucks like on ice there. XX Chris XX Angry, do you have any mitten recommendation? So yeah, if you're really down with spending a lot of money, but you'll own them the rest of your life if you take care of them, the Hestras are super solid. Plus, they got padding them like a boxing glove, so you can really punch your friends with it. Otherwise, Dakine makes some really good stuff. Even Burton makes good stuff. The big thing is when you're looking at the mitten, like the lower the price, the cheaper it's going to be. But one of the other things you want to do is flip open the inside and look at the country of origin in there. If it's China, it's a 50-50 if it's going to be good or bad, depending on what you're paying for it. But if it says like Vietnam, it's a higher quality stitch in there. They're just better quality in there. So you want to look at that. And then if you're on a real budget, go get some of those Kinko gloves. They're like $16 at like Home Depot, Lowe's, whatever. And go buy a can of Snow Seal for another $5 and put 2 coats of that on there. You're going to have a mitten that's super crispy. It's never going to fail you. All right. Let's see. Son Cow convinced my friend to swap her Outdoor Master helmet and goggles for something better. Fuck yeah, you're doing the Lord's work over there, sir. First off, that helmet isn't actually safety rated, so you just saved her if she ever hits her head, too. And remember to subscribe. Salty Bob Ross, does Holden Outerwear still exist anymore? Not in the way we know it. It's some kind of stupid fashion brand. I don't give a fuck about it. Okay, let's see. Where were we? Ooh, Corey Chan. Anything stand out between the Nidecker Mosquito and the Ride Peace Seeker other than the side cut? Yeah, the Peace Seeker blows the Mosquito out of the water on a carve. Holy fuck. Like, Mosquito's good at carving, but it's like that volume shift, and it's a little more damp ride. It doesn't have as much power out of the tail. The Peace Seeker, fuck me running. That thing was one of the best carving boards I've ever been on. Oh my God, I was laying trenches like no other with that thing. Just the raw power. I got a workout that day on my quads because I was just keeping my knees bent and just sitting on that board. Like if I had to choose between the Mosquito and the Peace Seeker, I would buy the Peace Seeker hands down every day, all day. In fact, I mean, there's a reason it's hanging up over there. Like, yeah, no, that thing, amazing. All right. Why are you on YouTube? Getting pulled by a snowmobile and snowboarding across flattish ground. Bad idea. I mean, if there's snow on it, no, it's fine. If you're doing it on raw pavement and grass and shit, that probably sounds like a really bad idea. Just remember, if you're going down, let go of the rope so you don't get dragged because you got this anchor on you. And if it hits anything, you're going to blow your knees out. Fruit Poop Loops, if we see you in public, can we say hi or avoid eye contact? You're going to pretend that you didn't know me and keep your head down. No direct eye contact, no flash photography, and no autographs. No, I mean, it's okay. Come up, say hi. People do it all the time. And I try to tell people when I'm going to be somewhere, like local day sale for opening day for Breckenridge. I'll be at Underground helping Andy and the crew sell. I'm there for a couple hours. When Karua came through and was doing their demo there, I was there. We're going to have demos and dogs at Copper and probably A-Basin and hopefully Steamboat. I got to keep working on getting that stuff dialed in, but we got some time with that. I'm going to have times where I'm going to be like, hey, let's just all meet up. We're going to go ride. We're going to go do our thing, hang out. And so, yeah. Patrick Ryan, do you and Tommy B chat? I mean, I send him messages right now because it's the off season just to check on him. Because I know he's got that hip surgery like you mentioned in here. that hip surgery is going to change his life. It's going to make him a lot happier. It's going to suck for the short term, but in the long term, that he should come out of that a lot stronger. So, but yeah, Tommy B. I initially didn't like him, but we sat down and kind of just chatted for a while and started realizing we have a lot more in common, which is good. And we kind of discussed some stuff. I mean, he's done some bonehead things in the past, but like, who the fuck am I to say anything? People in glass houses shouldn't cast stones, so thank God I don't live in a glass house. I do stupid shit all the time. Okay, we got Brian Campbell at 150 pounds and 5'11", single and ready to mingle. Wanting a board that can free ride and park, what size should I be looking at 155 pounds? Like 53 to 55 at max. So you just want something a little bit stiffer. Let's see. Jay Moore and Big Dog, Avram. No, it's Avran with an N. When we hit in Revy, I don't know. Probably when I get a new passport because I've been really fucking lazy on that. F Law, looking to buy a new helmet. MIP's a must. Most of the research done on it seems to be from the company selling. There's research out there. You just gotta dig for it. But MIPS does work. It's a step in the right direction, and there's other stuff going on out there. When it comes to helmets, make sure you read the safety rating, and it doesn't. If it says hard hat, just fucking run away from that. But if it says multi-impact helmet, then you're safe with it. It's a lot like boots. The best one's the one that fits your head, fits your needs, So just like best boots, the one that fits your foot and fits your needs. Let's see. Steven Mendoza. Here's a nickel for everything ticking me off at work. That's a lot of nickels if it's $5. You're having a shitty day, bud. I'm sorry. Hopefully you found some entertainment maybe in the dancing monkey in the box. So, yeah. Ooh. Next question I pick gets a spin. Okay, we're going to go with Dude Guy Man 77. Would a Slush Slasher 2017 or a Rome Ravine 2019 be okay for a catboarding trip or get something new? You don't want the Slush Slasher when you're going catboarding. You're going to want something longer. And you're going to understand that if you get into any terrain where you've got to stand up and keep your weight across because there's a dip or something like tree well, little ravine, gully, whatever, that Rome Ravine 2019 will be absolutely perfect for you. That's what it's designed for. Go with that. That's what you really want to go with. No one cares that you ride a Donic. All right. Jacob Iverson, thoughts on the Nitro Phantom for an all-mountain board? The Phantom is a binding from Nitro. So it's not an all-mountain board unless you mean for use on an all-mountain board. The Phantom's got a higher high back than any other binding out there. So if you're doing all-mountain freeride, that's going to be great for carves, especially if you crank forward lean. For freestyle, it leaves more to be desired. I did ride a set of Phantoms for a season as my all-mountain freestyle binding, and while it worked, I ended up going back to my Romes rather fast just because there were things on that binding that I wasn't totally stoked on for all-mountain freestyle use. For all-mountain freeride, it's absolutely amazing. We got our boy Jack Ripper with the $6.66 super chat. Satan Claus loves you. Spray, Snowboard, Pro Camp, Buckhouse, and skiers. Damn right. Spray them all. Let Cthulhu sort them out. What do we got? Where are we going? That's about to bounce, I bet. Yep. Remember to subscribe. Okay. Carlos Enriquez with the super chat. Did you get any Arbor boards to review for this year? No, I had to make the executive decision when I got overloaded with boards, what company not to reach out to. Unfortunately, Arbor hit the chopping block on that one. So that was rather upsetting. Ooh. Well. And remember, summer tourists are the worst. Let's see. Essence of Trance, since the dance hall was mentioned, that or the Orca for a mid-flex all-mountain freeride board for size 13s. I feel like it depends on the size dance hall. Like the 13s would be really tight on the 47, but the Orca, I believe, is a little wider, so that should be better. The other thing is camber profile and side cut. Like you're just going to get a radial side cut with that dance hall, but with the Orca, you're going to get a little more added edge grip. So if you're on anything a little firmer, that's a little bit better. Andrew Agar, have you caught wind of the BCA and a Black Diamond Beacon recall at all? Yeah, briefly. I saw that there is a recall on some stuff. I haven't looked more into that. So, yeah. Let's see. Okay. Corey Chan, alrighty. Size recommendations for the Peace Seeker at 125 pounds. Holy fuck, you're tiny. What is it? 40, 41, I think, at 42 that it comes in. You want that smaller size. Like at 200 pounds, I was riding the 151 and it was kind of kicking my ass a little bit, but like I could make it work. I could have gone smaller. You want like that 42. I don't, because I know there's was it 37 or a 38? I think that's too small, but I think you want like that 41, 42. And I got to agree with this statement from C Story 333. Yeah, Reddit sucks. The Reddit snowboarding is the biggest dumpster fire of snowboard information or snowboard misinformation I've ever seen. Like, it's so bad. I refuse to go in there because I know that I would just end up verbally eviscerating everyone in there for the amount of stupidity. Kudos to anyone that tries to drop knowledge in there, but those troglodytes are beyond fucking help. They are fucking huffing jankum and drinking meth pee over there. That's like how bad they are. And if you don't understand that drinking meth pee, there's this woman comedian that used to be a meth head, and she has a whole routine about how she used to smoke meth and then pee into jugs and then drink the meth pee to get high. All right. Let's see. Magic Flight Lunchbox. Any boots brand models I should stay away from, even if they fit my foot needs, just because they're low quality? So with boots, you pay for what you get. So I mean, if you see an entry level boot and it fits you, but it's $139, understand there's a reason it's $139. It's going to just deconstruct relatively fast. That's the one big thing. Now, if it's a brand you've never fucking heard of and it's like Mission 5 from Mars and it's sold on Amazon or something, or it's some store brand's boot, like I'd avoid that 100%. You know, that's it. But like most brand name boots, you pay for what you get, and within reason, like durability is there. Like if you're really hard on your boot or you're living in your boot, $139, $189 boot probably isn't what you want if you're riding 100 days. You need something a little stiffer, you know? If you're a lifty and you wear your boots to work so that you can go and ride, you're killing that boot all day. Like you should have your work boot and then you should have your snowboard boot, you know? So, all right. Let's see. We got a super chat from Joe X. Thanks for the content. Spin the win. We're trying. We're trying here. Remember to subscribe. All right, we got Drew Gallagher. Want something with more pop than my Mountain Twin, but not stupid stiff like the Ultra, but not super catchy and quick edge to edge. You, sir, may actually benefit from like a Rome mod with the rods in it. And if you don't like the idea of going almost full camber on that, you may like the party mod, the flat to rocker, because it's got those little bamboo rods. So when you roll back on the rocker section, it engages and it gives pop. Otherwise, even the Rome Agent would work for you. The Ride Shadow Band comes to mind. True Twin. Maybe you would go with like the Ride Zero. And let's see. Or you might also like the Signal Park Pro. So there's a few ones. Well, this is a good question from Ollie Brown. Do you think Burton churns too many different boards out? Yeah. God. But they're not the worst. Nitro actually is. Nitro has more boards than Burton. That's the problem, is like everyone's trying to hit these like $40 price point gaps where they're like, I need a board at $399 and another one at $439. And you're like, no, you fucking don't. You can get rid of it. And you don't need to have 7 boards in the same price point that are twin tips that all ride very similar. And the only difference is like the core thickness and the side cut profile. Like, you don't need it. So many companies make too many boards. I like it when I see a company and they're like, we have 3 models: the park board, the all mountain freestyle board, the all mountain free ride board. And you're like, cool, that works. I like that. And then they'll be like, we're adding a 4th board next year. It'll be a powder board. And you're like, makes sense. And they're like, we have plans for a women's board in 2 years. And you're like, perfect. This makes sense. These companies with like 47 different boards. And you're like, what the fuck? Like, whenever I have to get stuff from Mervyn to ride for review, I pretty much have to block out like 30 days that's all I ride, where I'm like, okay, 2 boards a day. Give me everything from Lib. Give me everything from GNU. Bring it in. Let's see how they all compare. So, yeah. Okay, we got a super chat from Eric Chen. When will the new 2023 boots come out and try? Just can't find any boots that fit me well. Went through 2 boots last year. Thank you. So I think some shops are starting to see stuff. I think we're like 2 to 4 weeks away before we'll see more stuff showing up. If you're really having serious problems, you might be one of those guys that needs to go talk to a boot fitter, like a specialist that deals in customization, and spend the time and the money to dial it in, and make sure you take notes of everything they're doing, because if you have to retire your boots in a season 2, 3, 4, you want to know what's going to need to be done. So when you go back, if you can't get the same boot fitter, you can be like, hey, we've got to do this, we got to do this, we got to do this, and we got to do this. Can you do it? And if they're like, yeah, I'd be like, cool, let's schedule an appointment. Let's do it. Sit down and go from there. It's one of those things. Like, for me, I know what I need to do every time I get a new boot. I just sit down. I do all that stuff. I've had friends be like, you got new boots? And I'm like, yep. And they're like, what are you doing? And I was like, customizing them so I can break them in faster. And that's the whole thing. So unfortunately, you might be one of those people. I think I owe Drew a spin, don't I? Yeah, I think I owe Drew a spin. So it's good. Getting lost over here. It's been an hour and a half of talking. I'm tired. My eyes hurt. My eyes hurt. I think I got to recalibrate the wheel. McCord Butler, best budget powder board. So here's what you need to do, man. If you're really on a serious budget, if you got an old board that's a little hammered, but it's still in decent enough shape and you can go do it, and you're handy and you got a skill saw or jigsaw, go cut a swallowtail. So, like, here, let's use this as an example. So let's say you're like, you've ridden this for a while. You got your new park board. This is your old one. You want to take, and you're going to cut from the contact point back. You want to figure out where it is. You're going to cut the tail off, and maybe you're going to cut a swallowtail, a deep swallowtail, or maybe you're going to move it into the effective edge and cut it across, cut a little swallowtail in there, and then you can take like a little pop rivet or even a screw through the top sheet and just screw it down to hold it. You can seal the end with some stain and some epoxy and whatnot if you need to, and you're going to make your own board. That way you're reusing an old board, you're cutting it down, it's a little shorter, it's going to change the whole dynamic of it. Like, if you want an example of that, so one summer my friend Crowbar and I got bored with an angle grinder, and we made some weird shapes. So like, this is what we call the shark bite. It effectively took out the effective edge, but we chopped it down, cut a couple points into it. But he made one that was like a very, he took one of his old Rossi jib saws, cut it about that far back from the rear binding, put a little notched V into it, and then cut a weird shape into the tip. I think it was like super pointy. and he made it into this little slush cruiser and rode it for a couple days up at Woodward at Copper for the summer camp in there. And then he was telling me in Vermont, he took it out on a powder day. It was absolutely amazing. And he's like, I salvaged an old board that would have just gone into the trash because he had crushed the tail. So that's probably the best way to do it. But I do like the fact that Signal has a payment plan on their boards. You could do it like a Womp Eater. Wasn't totally in love with that board, but a lot of people are. You could do a tail gunner. The bigger thing is, I think the best bang for the buck is you can find old, like season or 2-year-old Rosnell sushis and sashimis marked down like 60% if you dig around. I think the house has some deals on the sashimi's and stuff. And if you can find those, I mean, you're talking like $230. That's a screaming deal for a POW board. So, yeah. Okay, we got B-Spigs21. Just picked up a Party Wave Plus. Can I get a few binding recommendations? Thinking the Malavitas might work well. The Malavitas will work, but that's not the binding you want to put on that. So I would put like the Battalion Astro ASIM, because then you get more lateral play on it. Otherwise, like a K2 Lean AT or a Union Strata or Ultra, something that has more lateral play and makes it surfy, maybe even like a Now Brigade with that lower high back in there, something that'll really let you slash those turns. Shady 05091. Why are you still around? Because I fucking haven't killed myself yet. Okay, let's see. Adam Lowe, another Sasquatch question for you. My ride A8s don't adjust far enough back for me to center my foot. What is a larger or more adjustable binding? So you're looking for something with a wider footprint in it. Unfortunately, when Ride redid their bindings, they actually made them a little more narrow. So what I would do is check out the bent metals, anything with the adjustable heel cup. So you're looking at like your Solution, your Core Pro, your transfers in there. The Core Pro and the Solution tend to also be a little bit wider. Those are going to be really good. To an extent, the Rome bindings, if you get the large, extra large, I think you can push those out to like a 14.5, but it might be tight. Nitro has a bigger binding, like when you get up to the biggest size, which most shops don't even carry. I think they actually make an extra large. That'll work for you. Unions also, when you get to the bigger sizes, can really be pushed out, especially like the Force and the Atlas too. So, all right, let's see what we got here. Justin Martinez, have you ridden the wired Devin Walsh you talked about in the video that dropped it? Oh, fuck yeah, I have. Oh, that board's phenomenal. It's probably my new favorite wired snowboard. That thing was like, that is just an old school, like camber dominant all mountain freestyle board. That board is phenomenal. It's got snap. It's easy to engage when you need it to, but you can be assertive. By and large, like, love that thing. Super, super good board. All right. Anthony Hawking, I feel like 98% of people probably shouldn't be taking power tools to their boards. I'd agree with that statement. I mean, a lot of people can't handle using a waxing iron on the board. Hell, the amount of people that can't handle putting 4 screws in a binding with a screwdriver. The amount of people that I've seen struggle with a number 3 screwdriver to remove bindings or put them on, next level. Okay. Okay, we got a super chat from J-Raz. Finally made it back in time to catch the show. Friends don't let friends ride. Donix, cruise the blues, people. That's right. Friends don't let friends ride. Donix wear dope snow. Use rear rocks or listen to Jimmy Fuckhouse. Ooh, spin again. All right, this is a good question from Patrick Ryan. Anything I should warn a shop about when asking for a tune-up on a 3BT board? First off, you should ask them if they've ever done one before, because here's the thing. Most shops will tell you that they can't do it because they don't, one, they either don't want to have to remove the wheels off the tensioner to do it right, or two, they've never done it. So because the way that 3BT shaping is, so you got the flat and then you got the elevated sides, you have to run 3 different passes on it. So what you need to do is with the wheel, there's the tensioner wheel. There's 3 wheels on there. It looks like a solid one, but it's actually 3 pieces. You got to pull the pin out, slide the wheel, the first 2 wheels off, and then you got to move the 3rd wheel to the middle, adjust the tension, put it down, run the center through so it does the center. Then you got to move. Then you've got to move the board to do the side and then the other side, and you might have to move the wheel as well. It depends on the shop and the machine, but you have to basically understand that you're doing three different swipes through it with moving that wheel in there. If they don't know what you're talking about, don't let them touch it, because all they're going to do is run it down the center, and so the flat section will get tuned, but any of the elevated areas aren't. So that's going to change on everything. Fruit Poop Loops, what skill set do you need to be considered as an intermediate rider? You need to know how to lodge pimp aggressively. You should have at least hooked up with 3 different cougars, had crabs at least once from a snow carny, and know that while Zima is great, it is rat piss. You know all that, you're ready for intermediate. No, actual skills, solid at linking turns, can actually get on edge, know how to carve, know how to stop without hitting anyone. You should be able to pop off a side hit and know how to land. You should understand how to engage a turn off your front foot, so with your weight out over the nose, and transition your weight back so that you steer from the center of the board, and if you need to, off the tail. So, yeah. So, all right. Okay. Ibuprofen. My season pass includes 3 free days at Copper. Maybe I'll see you there. Fuck, man, I rode there 76 days last year. You'll see me. I'm like there at least Monday through Thursday. If not, I'm at A Basin. But yeah, and like I've said earlier in this live stream, I fully plan on having meetup days at Copper where we're going to go out and ride on the weekends or something. I'm actually going to have to break my rule and ride on a couple Saturdays. Kill me now. Let's see. Mass Mills, any snowboard glasses out there you'd recommend instead of bulky goggles? You want to get glacier glasses. Like, you want to get the ones with the leather pieces over the side, or you can get a leather adapter that'll go around whatever you are. Make sure you get something with a polarized lens, something that's solid in there, and you want to get like the little croquis for it so that they don't go flying off on you. I've got friends that literally never wear goggles. They only wear sunnies. So, yeah. Okay. Nick Larson, is Picture Organic outerwear decent? Some of their designs are nice. Yeah, their stuff's actually really solid. It's just they've got weird Euro cut, as we call it, because they're designed by French people. And, well, as a French person, we're weird. So, but their stuff is solid. Their quality. 4x4 therapy might now be your wheelhouse, but trying to decide what board to take, the Y or the Ravine, otherwise considering a swallowtail like the Karua Dart. Thoughts? Well, since you're down there at Southern Hemisphere, if you're going to go rip more groomers, carving, the Y, more all-mountain freestyle, ride everything, Ravine. If you just want to rip hard, aggressive turns and nonstop and give yourself a workout, the Dart. So, yeah. Okay. Anyways, guys, I think we're slowing down, so I think we might call this a day. Feel like we were leaving on a good note. Plus, I got some stuff to do, and I'm fucking hungry. So I want to do that. But, yeah. So there's a review tomorrow that's scheduled. I can't remember what board it is. I think it's a Karua. I don't know. I got so much shit scheduled. So, yeah, check that out. Got an explain video on Monday. I got to work on some top 5s this weekend for you guys. hopefully going to get that pant video with all these shredded friggin' pants. This really is a lot of pollution. I feel bad. But yeah, so yeah, that video is going to be coming out soon. Still working on the boot fitting 101 Redux for all you guys. I got some other comedy stuff. Hopefully you're following me on Instagram and been loving the memes I've been coming up with lately. So I've been working on those. Yeah, other than that, you know, if you're new here, remember to subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications. That way you're not going to miss any of the videos we got coming out for you. And if you want to support, swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP. Get access to the reviews a little bit earlier. You can ask questions direct to me, stuff like that. I'm working on some other VIP exclusive content. Nothing too crazy. You know, check it out. There's a video over there that explains it. And, you know, thanks for everything, guys. It's been a good day, and I'll see you in another video.